Oh, hello again, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. It feels odd still calling it my channel, but first a couple of words. I was really very pleased to see that a couple of hundred people took interest in my video this time round, which was most gratifying. So thanks very much to all of those people. So if you're sufficiently interested to watch again, I'm going to say thanks very much, and I do hope that I don't bore you completely to death over the course of the next few minutes, but I'll get straight along with it anyway, because quick reminder, last video we got as far as bolting all this lot together with the fuselage together, as you can see. So the all the wheel wells and so on are in, the cockpit tub is in, and so on and so forth. We're stitched up. What I've done in the meantime is to seal up these seams here with a little bit of I think it's called Mr. Surfacer or something like that, I think. I'll have a look in a minute on both sides here. So I don't need to seal this bit up here because there's going to be a panel that goes over that, obviously, but down here. Now hopefully when I unify the surface with primer, which I will do at some stage in the not too far distant future, when I'm nearer completion, these seams don't show up, but obviously spraying primer onto this will show up any seams. What I also did in the meanwhile was to put the Wolfpack nose cone on, and that's going to form the first part of my video today. But just to give you an idea of where we're going to go next, I'll show you that quickly. So I've done the wings, I've put them together, and I'll have a word or two about them. We're going to put the wings on. We'll also assemble this sub-assembly here using the resin upgrades I've got, and I'll show you the difference between the resin upgrade and the standard kit parts. There's quite a difference, to be honest with you. And then what we'll do is we'll start to put in these panels here, and then the wings will be on obviously by that stage, and that will start to give us a position where things are going to start to look quite good. The next stage after that will be to put the tail planes on, and also the flaps. As you know, these with the TSR2, the flaps are blown, which means they take air feed from the engines to increase lift underneath the wings. I think that's how it works. Please feel free to correct me if I've got that wrong. But we'll take things a step at a time. I don't want to do a 3/4 of an hour video. I'm going to see if I can still keep it to about sort of 15 or 16 minutes or so, something along that line. It's certainly as much as I'd want to watch or want to do anyway, because I have to think a lot of things here. So anyway, let's get cracking. So the first thing is, obviously, as I said, I've put the nose cone on. As you can see, what I've done here is I've masked the part of the nose cone, which is the join line between the back of the nose cone and the front. Now I'm going to show you a picture quickly from my reference manual, or a reference book, which is TSR2 Britain's Lost Bomber. It's by Damien Burke. I couldn't remember who it was by last time, but what it does show is some plan drawings of the TSR2, and I'll just zip on this a minute so that you can see that when we look at the nose cone here, what we see is the nose cone is slightly drooped, so the angle here is slightly greater than the angle there. This means that the pilot has more vision over the top of the nose. In fact, actually looking down at some of the pictures taken from within the cockpit, it almost looks like there's no nose at all. So there's an awful lot of vision. So that's what it should look like. And I'll just put that back away over behind there so it doesn't fall over. This is what it actually does look like. And that, as you can see, is not right. So what's happened here, the error that I've made, and I'll just zoom back to 1x. There you go, that's better. What I've done here is this particular join line here should be at an angle like that. So I've matched up the top of the cockpit line in here so that this fits in really nicely and looks really good. But that's at the wrong angle, so it points the nose up. So as I said before, with super glue, if you super glue things in, they're there forever. However, I have discovered something called debonder. So I'm going to have a crack at that just now with some debonder, see if I can actually remove this section, and then I'm going to sand down that area there of the main fuselage. I'll probably do that off camera, I would suggest. and then refit this properly so that it then looks more like it ought to, and that should finish things off. Obviously I'm going to have to get things straight in this plane and at the right angle in this plane as well, so there's a bit of something to do. So this stuff, debonder, is quite liquid. I've done a bit of a test on it with something else, and you have to give it a bit of time, so there's going to be a bit of how should we put it, a bit of jiggery pokery for a while. So I'm going to drop some debonder on this. I'll get some tissues and so on and so forth that I can use to keep the whole thing wiped down. I don't want the debonder to attack anything else. I'm hopeful that it doesn't attack the plastic. It certainly won't attack the resin from what I can see. So what you do is you spray a bit of this stuff on and then let it soak in, and the chemical reaction starts fairly rapidly, and hopefully, see, that's wicking round there onto that. So I've used a fair bit, and I'm going to put a little bit more on there, and hopefully you can see this all right. I'm concentrating not through the camera lens because it's really hard to do things through the lens, as it were. So I'm going to give that 15 or 20 seconds just to look in, and I'm going to react. I'm going to try and see if we can work this a little bit. Maybe we can, maybe we can't, but I'm going to try and pull some of that old super glue off. I use super glue gel. It's called super glue power gel. It doesn't dry immediately, but when it does dry, it's pretty bloody strong, to be honest with you. So we'll see if we can start to move this. It's not moving any place as of yet. In fact, I don't think we've really made much progress here, so we'll just dab a little bit more on and just keep going until we can get this moved. And it may take a little while. We may have to be quite patient with it. I'm just hopeful that it doesn't attack the oh, that's dripped all over the place. I'm just hopeful that it doesn't attack the polystyrene of the model. Trying to keep that in view for you. As you can see, it drips off fairly well. See if we can. I get the sense that maybe that's beginning to move a little bit. No, that's my imagination there. You've got to keep just moving it gently, and hopefully it starts to come away. I'm going to apply steady amounts of pressure to it, but not too much, and see if we can get this to move away. Otherwise, it's going to be a difficult job, I think. No, that still doesn't want to come out. So this is pretty well damn cured here. I'm going to use it again. I don't know if anybody's seen this stuff used before. This is only the second time I've used it, so I'm hopeful that it's going to work. But as I said, I did use it on something else to test it against the super glue gel, and it did work, did get the thing off. So we'll just have to be patient and keep trying. Wipe that off. It does seem to be wiping off the glue from the surface, it seems to me. Or not, as the case may be. Seemed it got it off on the other side. Just to keep trying here, I'll have to be patient. Oh, that's some splashed onto the surface of the model there. I don't think it's attacking the polystyrene. We got to hope, haven't we? I don't really want to come with a video here that says, sorry chaps, won't be building any more of this, because I've wrecked the model because I stupidly used super glue and didn't get the angle of attack for the nose cone right. That would be a bad finish to this, wouldn't it? So there we go. Anybody who can think of any comments on how to make this an easier job to do, more than welcome to come back to me on this. I'm very happy to hear any comments anybody has to offer. So that's, I was hoping it would be easy, and yet we're kind of nearly 10 minutes into the video yet, and still no movement at all. Nothing at all so far. dab it again, see if we can just keep going, got to persevere. Let's take a blade here and see if we can help it along, possibly. I see the blade does seem to go in a little. Yes, it does seem to. Maybe we are making some progress. Who knows? I don't want this stuff going all down the body of the model. That wouldn't help, I don't think. Yeah, I think we're making a bit of progress, but I think it's just a question of being patient. And as I do this, I think perhaps I may not show that all of this. I may just do this and then dump this video, but we'll see. I'm not sure anybody wants to see all of this being done, because it would be, shall we say, a little bit dull. And I promised I wouldn't edit any videos so that you see it very much as it is. Shall we say, warts and all. I think that was the expression I used the last time. Is it beginning to move at all? No, it's still absolutely solid on there. I can't apply too much force on this. I don't want to damage this. A little bit more of the old debonder here. That's rather a lot there I put on. It's very liquid, this stuff, so you do have to be rather careful with it. It takes 15 to 20 seconds to start to, shall we say, activate. Let's see if we can lever it off. It almost looks like it might be trying to go, but it's always hard to tell. So there we go. I still haven't used half a bottle yet, but it kind of feels that way. You can hear the rattling in the background. That's the cockpit tab rattling against the plastic of the fuselage here. Let's just see if we can push the blade down. See, that made a bit of progress down there. I wonder if we can do a little bit more of that. Possibly, possibly not. Oh. No, I'm a bit cagey about doing this way, about trying to break it off. It would be bad news if I broke that completely. That wouldn't help my cause, would it? Let's put it like that. Here we go again. It's just a bit more glue on glue remover on this debonder. See, there's a lot of debonder on there. As you can see, it falling onto the instructions now. Hasn't done any harm to the instructions, but then again, they're not made of plastic, so or super glue. Come to that. Let's find that seam line again and see if we can get the blade in there. Again, it's quite hard to get the blade in there, even because, of course, I've got one hand that I'm using, and I don't want to attack the plastic too much. So here we go. I think we're a little way into the video now. Only 15 minutes in. I think I may just break my promise and abridge this, because it's going to be really dull for people, this, I will say. Just watching me trying to debond something that's been super glued in. Watching me trying to be careful with a blade here is, I think that would be singularly boring, to be honest with you. I get about one viewer or something, and they'd all switch it off and say, "What a load of old rubbish," they'd say. They might not talk with that rather silly falsetto voice I've just used, but who knows? Who knows? They might do, and they'd be perfectly entitled to do so, of course, if they did. I do think we're making some progress, to be honest with you, but I am trying to be really careful, and I keep going off camera, so look, really sorry about that. But I think we are making a bit of progress here, and it's going to be a question of gently cutting round this until we get to a point where we can actually take this off and clean it up properly. So we'll just have to be patient, I'm afraid. That's just the way it goes. Let's put the blade down and give it a bit of a twist again. Yeah, it feels like it's beginning to go. I'm still applying a lot of pressure there, really a lot more pressure than I want to be honest. So we'll just have a little bit more of the debonder in there on both sides, because I've got a bit of a gap in there now. Maybe I can attack the inside of that joint. There's rather a lot of glue in there, so it's going to take some time. Yes, it is beginning to come along, but I'm going to have to. Here's what I'm going to do. I mean, we're 16 minutes in. I'm gonna call it a day on the video part of this. You know what I'm doing. You know what I'm trying to achieve here. And if you've got this far, look, thanks a lot for watching, because that was it was really dull just watching me faff around with this. The next time I come on video, I'll have got this thing off and we'll have gone through to some of the next bits, and I'll fill you in on how much of a struggle it actually was, and we'll take it from there. But until then, I'm going to say thanks very much for watching, and sorry to bore you with one of my little personal disasters here. So anyway, cheers for now. I'll catch up with you very soon. Bye for now.